Alright, now I gotta get this water pump out. To get that out, I need to get this out of the way. So it's gonna be that screw and that screw. And then note it's clipped into the wall, so you gotta pull in and pull out. Undo this bolt. Actually, I undid this to get this out of the way. Then that hose clamp down there. Pull that hose clamp off. And note, if you want to get your your clamp to move easier, spray with silicone spray. All right. So now, when you get this bracket off, we got to get this out. I already drained this, so to get this bracket off, to get it out of the way. I think you have to pull the alternator up and out of the way, because it's down there. Oh great, this AC unit. We gotta loosen those bolts before we do the serpentine belt. And this serpentine belt is shot. We'll get to that later. And then I think the idler has to come off. And maybe the tensioner down there. Alright, now we have the tank out of the way. And what you do is you pull up on the tank, and then you reach down with a hose and just break the hose loose. And then you could just pull the tank out this way and get the hose to come off. And then I jammed, because it's a leaking fluid, I jammed the hose right there up against the back of this. See the hoses there? So it's up in the air, so it stops letting all the fluid out. Now we have access to those, the idler and the pulley. I gotta take off the belt now that it's all covered and disconnect the battery, because we're going to be screwing with the alternator. The alternator positive wires right there. We're going to be lifting the alternator up this way. Alright, so we go in with the 13 millimeter and loosen these. They're already loosened. Okay, that's loosened. Let's see. So this bracket has to come off. So I got to take this bolt out. Okay. Alright, so where I live, we get a lot of rust. So going to pull this out, and it's hitting, probably the rust on the head, it's hitting the bushing as it comes out. So I'm going to try spraying some liquid wrench or whatever into that bushing. I'm not even looking at it. Alright, so I can unscrew it out. Oh, I don't see it coming out too easily. Come on, man. Can I just disconnect this bracket and pull it out? The back of this screw has a nut, a holding nut, so you don't lose the screw. I don't even have to take this stupid bracket, take that screw out. Oh, the alternator fell down. Alright, so I just screw that. I don't need to take that out. Just pop that over like that. You can go back in, buddy. You can go back in. Oh, I forgot to loosen it. I forgot to take the serpentine belt off, so it's pulling the alternator down. So anyway, I'll get the serpentine belt off, and then this whole bracket and everything will just flop over. Alright, belt flow. It comes up over the alternator, goes around the idler, comes over your power steering. Power steering goes down and around your AC, down the engine crankshaft down there, and then comes back up around the tensioner, down and around, what is this, the power steering? No, that was the power steering up there. What is this, the cam? Oh, no, that's the freaking water pump. Duh. Water pump and up and over there. So you see that? All the way down below, bottom left pulley is the crank. Up and over the tensioner, around the water pump, around the alternator, and then through there. So now we got a long pipe, a 5/8, and I'm going to put it on there and turn towards the front of the car. Yeah, crank it this way. Okay, I got the pulley out. The pulley out. Now the pulley's got a washer on the back that threads onto the screw. Test your bearing on this. That's fine. Got the alternator filled up. I didn't disconnect the wire because it reaches. So I got the alternator and the bracket up. So now I'm taking out the 13mm screws. Let's see what else we need. Now we got to take off this connector here. And it's your is that your crank sensor or something like that? One of those. To loosen the tensioner, I had one of these because I couldn't get my ratchet in there. You do one of these, and then you go in with a close end like this, and you can use it like that. Oh, this one's too small. But you put a close end like that, like this, and then you use that as your leverage. Use that like that, your leverage. 15mm leverage. Take the belt off. Such a tight fit down in there. A lot of these bolts are 13mm, and the bigger ones would be 15. Alright, so quickest way to get these out. First find me down, you put your wrench. Going this way. So you get it on there. Get the wrench on. Come on, man. Get the wrench on, and then since this is ratcheting, I go in and jam my finger on the other side. Like this. Jam my finger on the other side, so it's holding it. And then I just go. This one's going to be a pain in the ass. And out. So jam the nut on there, put your finger on the other end. Just pop off. Yeah, there we go. And let's put our screws. Now my nut is sitting there. Can you even see that? I put all the nuts nuts back on, all the screws back on, screw back in, screw back on, so I don't lose where anything is. So I took out the idler, the tensioner, and that's with a T50. A T50 to get that out. So I can get to that bracket there. So I can get to this bracket. Because that is in the way. And I love this thing. I keep hitting this. Alright. And that switch I took out and I put a piece of paper in there to block it off. So now I just need to get all the bolts. What I'm going to do is every time I take a bolt out, I'm going to put it in the new one. So every time a bolt comes out, it's going to go into this one, so I know where it came from. And then when I take the old one out, I'll transfer those over to the old one, so I can put the new one in and take the bolts off the old one and into the new one, if you know what I'm saying. Because all these bolts are different sizes, different lengths, and everything. Alright, I got all the bolts out. All the screws out. All sitting in here, so you can see how that pattern goes. There you got the one that has the screw there, the pin one there. Alright, now to make the mess on the ground, the antifreeze. All the screws are out. Let's see if we can even make the noise it was doing. It doesn't feel wobbly. The bearing doesn't feel bad. I don't know if I got it on video, the whining it was doing. And I know it was this. This was whining because I sprayed lube directly into this hole and the whining stopped. Like I was spinning the idler and that was making a little noise just now when I took it off. Well, when it was on there, I mean, it was feeling a little wobbly, but when I think it might have been loose. I don't know. But this was definitely where the noise was coming from. I don't know if it was whining because the heater core is clogged, which I unclogged. Well, it's disturbing that I can't tell. Anything is wrong with this. I see a lot of corrosion. Goddamn light, you know, stay on for a fucking, a minute or something. Maybe it was near end of life. So anyway, now I need to transfer all the screws over to this, so I know where they go when they come back in. So you got, and also note when you pull these screws out, some of them have sealer. This one doesn't have it. Some of them have a Loctite on them, like this one. There you go. That's Loctite. This one has some Loctite on it. Now we got a little 8mm here. And then we got your 13. And this one had the Loctite on it. God damn it. How can I get on video? God damn it. Alright, this one had some Loctite on it. I don't think this one did. And then we're over to the 8mm again. 8mm. And this one had Loctite on it. Alright, now we gotta clean. Now we gotta clean the area. Clean the area, and this one came with a washer. And I'm gonna put RTV on to hold the washer in place. Thin layer. Alright, the longest part of this whole damn thing was cleaning that damn gasket off. All that great right there, huh? Where is that? Damn it. Where you can't see. Alright. Drying it off now. Alright, got the new one in. I'm going to put that bracket on. I think I'm looking at it. The bracket that's dangling down. Put it up there. I'm going to put the switch in. Hook up the hoses. You know, all the fun stuff. Maybe a wire tie trick. To hold that damn pulley while you try to feed your fingers down in for that screw. Or maybe an Allen wrench jammed in this way. Alright, everything's back in. We got the bracket bolt. We got our hose connected back up. Hose connected back up. Now we gotta put our other hose on. We got the supposed to go on the outside of that. On the other side of the bracket. Oh, its attachment is right there, so maybe not. Maybe that is correct. Yeah, that is correct. Alright, this engine mount was shot. The alternator hits this, makes it go crumple, crumple, crumple. Alright. Belt is on correctly. This new belt was a little tighter. So what I did is I took it off this idler, tensioned it, and then I slid it over this flat area because I couldn't get it over the lip. And doing it over the idler was a lot easier. So it's at 85.0K 6. Alright. Now to put the tank back in. 50-50 mixture. No more squeal. Waiting for the heat seems to be working, but what do we have? We're only at 149. We have it on full. Before full would make it cool down, but there's heat coming out. It's not that hot. Engine's coming up to temp. We got my sensor out here. Let's see. .77, and it's about 45 out right now, or 30s. Oh, actually I have outside temp. It's 28 out. So heat. Still, you should be seeing that kind of heat coming up. Let's see the main one. How old are you?
6. 6 and 3 inches. I think I have to ask my mom.